Oh, come on.
Hey, Jackie is in need of a second date update this morning. We're going to help her out. Hey, Jackie.
Hey, guys.
So what's the story with Henry? How did you meet? How did the first date go and all that good stuff?
So I met Henry at a Labor Day party at a friend's house. And I thought he was cute, and I got the whole scoop on him before I introduced myself.
Oh, good. Good recon.
Yeah, you always want to know what you're going into.
Oh, for sure.
Our mutual friend, we have a mutual friend, and she told me that he was recently single after breaking up with a girl that nobody liked. I guess she was, really awful,
that's
but
handy.
he was with her for a while.
Oh, they live together?
No, I don't think they lived together. They had been together for a while.
Okay.
But, she said that he wasn't heartbroken over it or anything. Like he kind of knew that his ex was awful. And our mutual friend told me that he's, really ready to find somebody nice.
I imagine it took him a bit to get to that point, right?
Yeah.
Probably, yeah. I mean, they'd been together for a long time. So he was, I guess, done.
Okay.
And so, I thought that I could be the new, somebody nice. I mean, I'm really nice. I'm fun. I'm, positive. I like to have a good time. And he looked like someone who needed a good time. So after I got the scoop from our mutual friend, I walked up and I introduced myself. I was like, hey, I'm Jackie. And we hit it off right away. And he was a total flirt. And so am I. So, I mean, it really didn't take long before we were really hitting it off. We were laughing and drinking and just having a good time. It was all good. So good that when the party was over, I told him that he was coming home with me.
Oh.
And he was like, okay.
And he was like, okay.
Well, you did look like you needed a good time, so I'm taking the initiative.
Exactly. And so we get back to my place. We opened a bottle of wine. He stayed the night. And it was a really good night, like a really good night. And so the next morning, I gave him a banana and a cup of coffee to go, and he kissed me goodbye, and he said, see you later.
That's great.
That was it.
Here's your banana and coffee. Off you go.
Well, you need, after you've been drinking, you need potassium and caffeine. So
yes.
I thought, I was
no
taking care
muscle
of him.
cramps, too. That's important.
Yep.
Right.
Here's a little courtesy breakfast pack.
It didn't help me because I haven't heard from him since. I've texted him twice. And I called our friend, but she hasn't talked to me either. So I honestly have no clue what happened. Maybe he hates bananas. I don't know.
Well, so you don't think you left him with the impression that this was just a one-nighter, do you? Like, hey, you're coming to my house, and then he goes to your house, and then you send him off with the banana and coffee. I don't know. I'm just asking.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought he was into me. I guess he wasn't.
Oh, I'll bet he was into you.
The only thing I'm thinking of is if he's just out of a relationship, I mean, is he maybe just looking to have a fun night here or there?
That's what I'm thinking.
And maybe that's all that he thought this to be. Because, I mean, you pretty much just picked him up at a party. You told him, right? Mm-hmm. You told him, you're coming home with me.
Yeah.
You didn't say, you're going to come home with me and then sleep with me. And then we're going to date for a year. And then we're going to move in together. And then after a year, that will be engaged. And then a year after that, it'll be the wedding. And you're going to propose to me on a beach in Costa Rica.
Dang, Jen.
I'm so glad you have this figured out.
We're going to invite 300 people. We'll bank on 200 of them showing up. And I would like it to be an outdoor fall wedding.
No, I didn't do that.
Thank God.
That makes it so much easier.
I feel overwhelmed just listening to Jen describe everything.
Maybe I should have done that.
See, maybe you should have been a little bit more clear.
Yeah, I think so.
With your expectations.
Yeah, that's all right. We're just kidding.
But yeah, if I'm going to toss out a guess, which I don't generally like to do because it's very, it's so hard to say why anybody does anything, right? So that's just my best guess.
Right.
I see where you're going, though, on that whole, he just got out of a relationship thing. He just wants to hook up.
And it sounds like it was a bad relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't want to go down that road again.
He's in no big hurry.
If you want to hang out, we can keep it casual.
Yeah. But he wants to get it on because, he's a dude. And how old is he in his 20s?
Yeah, 29, I think.
Okay.
That's how me and Kristen started out.
Mm-hmm. Just, getting it on.
Well, the last thing I wanted was anything serious.
Oh, so it was all just casual.
And she was just a really great friend, and I loved having that. It felt just really comfortable and safe.
Mm-hmm. But first time you met, she didn't say, you're coming home with me.
No.
No.
Although that would have been awesome.
Although I would have said yes.
Do you think if she would have done that, you would have
time?
Right. Do you think you still would have ended up in a relationship with her if that would have been how it started out of the gate?
I don't know. That's a really good question. I'd have to give that some thought.
I didn't. Like with Scott, like the first night that we met, I told him, like, we can hook up and I will hook up with you, but I'm not interested in dating you after the fact. Like, I was like, if we do that, I know it's not going to go anywhere. So it's either this or we decide to become friends.
That's a really good point, because I don't know that I would have given her the chance that way if we had slept together right off the bat. And I fell in love with her before that happened. So
Yeah.
I think it's good that it worked out the way that it did. So why don't we do this? We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll call Henry and see what he thought of that evening, what he thought it was.
All right.
And if there's any shot of a second date coming up. A second date update continues on Cincinnati's Q102.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
Cold weather is coming. Shut it out with new windows from Universal Windows Direct. Hi, Tim. Right now, buy one window, get one free. They also do siding, roofing, and doors. Call 513-755-1800. Check out uwdsouthwestohio.com.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
So Jackie's at a party over Labor Day weekend, and she sees Henry and is instantly attracted to him and asks her friend, what's the scoop with this guy? And she finds out he'd been in a long-term relationship that didn't work out. I guess he was pretty miserable there for quite some time before the relationship finally ended. So Jackie walks up, introduces herself. They start flirting immediately. And I like how she said, and he seemed like he needed to have a good time. He seemed like someone who needed a good time.
Yeah. Did he seem like he was just wound a little bit too tight? Did he seem sad? What indications was he giving you that he was in need of a good time?
I mean, yeah, he just had this like sad, mopey look on his face. Wasn't really talking to anyone at the party. Yeah, it was just like his whole demeanor. I can kind of read people's energy.
You can sense energy like that. Yeah, you can tell.
Yeah.
So you're a healer. She's a healer.
Look at that.
Yeah.
She's a healer and a muse.
I think I need to be healed.
I need to go to this one whose energy is a little out of sorts and uplift him and then be his muse and sleep with him and get him back into the groove of things.
Exactly.
Okay, so you ready to call him? We're going to see why he's not calling her back. I mean, that's weird. He seemed all about it, and now he's
gone.
Suddenly elusive, so we're going to call Henry and see if we can get Jackie a second date or some satisfactory explanation.
Hello?
Hi, Henry.
Yeah, this is Henry.
How's life treating you?
It's all right. Depends on who's calling, though. Who am I talking to?
It's good people calling. Jeff, Jen, Fritch, Tim, the whole gang, Q102. How you doing?
Why you guys calling me?
We talked to a friend of yours who was curious to see how you were doing, hadn't heard from you in a bit, and we just wanted to check in.
Oh, it's the second date follow-up, I'm guessing, right?
Why do people just automatically assume we're calling for a second date? You know, maybe we're just calling to say hi.
We don't do that.
We never do that.
That's why.
We never do that. We never just randomly call people we've never talked to before and given them money, you know.
Okay, fine.
It's pretty much the only reason.
I would like to start doing those things, though, maybe.
It would be
We'll
fun.
put it on the
Be
show
nice.
sheet.
Throw people off a little bit.
We should do just like a random 513 dial or an 859 dial, just a random number, and see who picks up.
Right.
That's how you hook up with serial killers, FYI. Henry, we spoke to Jackie. She seems very nice.
Yeah, she's nice. But we really didn't even have a first date, so I don't think a second date follow-up is warranted at this point. So I'm not.
You didn't have a
I'm not
first
even sure what
date?
you guys call it. No, I mean, I wouldn't consider it a date.
No,
You know,
I know.
it's,
I mean, it wasn't, you're right. It wasn't a formal date if we're talking about meeting her at the party and going back to her place.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what she told you guys, but it's not something that I'm sure she would want me to say on the radio, and I'm not even sure it's something that would be allowed on the radio.
Well, now we're intrigued. What happened? I mean, if it's something dirty, we'll just bleep it.
Yeah, so we went back to her place. She was very forward. about everything, which, I personally was very attracted to, especially coming out of a bad relationship. So it was a nice change in pace. But she was doing something that I've never experienced before, and kissing a certain part where the sun don't shine, that doesn't get much attention.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. For a very long period of time, and she was thoroughly enjoying it. So it wasn't something that was her first time doing it. So that freaked me out a little bit too. And then when it was over, she decided to kiss me straight on the mouth.
Oh.
So I do have my reservations, and it was late. We were a little drunk, so I decided to just spend the night. But in the morning, I hightailed out of there for sure. But it was very disturbing. Probably the most disturbing thing that's ever happened to me, to be honest.
But you let her continue to do it? Oh my! I mean, you didn't try to.
It was. Again, we were drinking, so just very disturbing.
Okay, well, we have Jackie on the line.
I mean, Henry, don't even try to act like you didn't like that. I mean, you were way into it, and that's why, I stayed there as long as I did. And you made no move to try and stop me or tell me that you weren't into it. So that's really messed up that you're judging me for doing that. I mean, are you kidding me?
I don't think that's really fair to say. I was pretty hammered at the time, and it's something new. It was a different sensation, and literally, I was just trying to make you happy because you seemed very, very into it. To be honest, very into it.
You were the one that was into it, and you didn't say anything to stop it. And you're I feel like you're gaslighting me right now. Are you seriously gaslighting me and making me think that you weren't into it?
Not at all. I was not into it. Spur of the moment, should have reacted differently, but grossed out completely.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what to do with that. I'm sorry.
This is why it might be a good idea to. I have several thoughts on this, actually. This might be a good idea. Why it might be a good idea to get to know somebody a little bit before you hop in the sack. And then when you do hop in the sack with someone.
So far, you've lost me.
Yeah. Who said that was a good idea, Jen?
And then when you do decide, have a conversation about your
what are you into?
Hard passes, what's okay, and if there's anything that is just off the table.
Oh, I would just tell you flat out in the moment. No, thank you. No,
we're not going to do that. I appreciate the offer.
Yep.
I thank you for being willing to go there for me, but it's not necessary.
Yeah, I mean, I guess a little communication would have helped next time.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
All right. Well, Henry, thanks for taking the call and having it out with us. We appreciate it. And
thanks,
best of luck to you. Yeah. Take it easy.
Thank you. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okie dokie. So if you need a little help with a second date update, just send us an email. Jeff and Jenn at WKRQ.com.
All right. Coming up, what do waterbeds, flash mobs, and traveler's checks all have in common? Plus, because I said so, doesn't really work anymore.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Oh, how I wish it did.